The Lord be with you. A reading from the Holy Gospel according to Luke. Glory to you, Lord. Jesus said to his disciples, "Watch yourself, and your hearts will be concerned with debauchery and drunkenness and the cares of life, and that day will be sprung up on you suddenly like a trap. For it will come down on every living man on the face of the earth. Stay awake, praying at all times for the strength to survive all that is going to happen, and to stand with confidence before the Son of Man." The Gospel of the Lord.
Praise to you, Lord Jesus Christ.
Today is the last day of the church's year, so the new year begins tomorrow. And what a way to end the year with this Gospel, according to Luke, talking about two things: to be able to stand against the pull of the world, and secondly, to be able to endure. And you remember when the disciples were sent by Jesus, I think in Matthew's Gospel, chapter 10, he says, only those who would enduring till the end, meaning that we are able to keep away from the pull of society, the pull of the world. I remember a funny story, something I experienced myself when I was in 32nd year of philosophy in the seminary. So I was assigned in charge of the kitchen with one other student, John Ewu. And John actually watches my YouTube, so I'm sure he's going to hear this story again. So we were assigned in the kitchen, and the fridge of the rector got spoiled. So he transferred everything to our own fridge. So the fridge was in the kitchen, and we are taking care of everything. And one of the things that we had transferred was a bottle of wine. And for me, I never took wine. I don't like taking wine. I don't take it even till today. But I don't know what happened that day that I said I want to taste the wine of the rector, together with John. And the moment I told him, "Can we taste this wine?" he was already ready. And he brought a very big rubber cup. And so I just took out the wine from the fridge. I mean, I don't take wine. I don't know what happens that day. So the moment I took the wine from the fridge and I was about to pour on the cup, the rector just opens the door. And he looked at the bottle of wine, he looked at me, he looked at John, and he asked us something else. He did not ask even what we were doing with the wine or something. He just asked about something else. He said, did you see this or whatever? And then he left. And we were really frozen because we knew this is the end. This is the end of the road for us. How dare we touch the wine of the rector? He didn't ask about that, but he just left. And I remember the guilt I felt that day. I said, how can I be overtaken by this? I never took wine. Why will I try? And you see, and that time I remember that a lot of people get into trouble, not because they want to do what they are doing. A lot of our young people get into addiction of taking drugs and things like that, not because they want to do that, but because they find their friends doing that and they want to try. And it becomes so difficult for them to come out of it. And this is why we have to endure, especially when things, the world is really advancing, and at times you feel, especially like young people, we feel left out. If we do not cope, if we do not get on with the rest of the people, we feel left out, and that is why we want to try. We want to upgrade. We want to update our lives to the standards of the ordinary people. And this is what Jesus says, that we must stay awake. We must be able to endure the field of society. We must be able to endure that things do not pull us to itself. I don't know if you have ever had an experience of, for instance, and it happens most of the time, like if you are flying or you are traveling for a long distance, and then you spend your time, instead of saving your battery, you spend your time playing games or watching things that maybe are not really useful, but you just want to keep yourself busy. And then the moment you really want to make use of maybe you get stuck somewhere, in the moment you want to really make use of your phone, you realize that your battery has run down. And then you begin to think, what was I doing? You realize everything you were doing was so useless, and that you don't even have enough saved in your phone to be able to make a call. And you begin to regret because you spent your phone uselessly in doing other things. And at times I think our lives are like that. There are times at the end we begin to regret and we say, what did we do with our lives? For the time that we were given, for the grace that God gave us, the blessings that He gave us, what did we do with that for the past years? If I think of the past 36 years now, I can still find areas where I said there were things I was supposed to do right, and I didn't do them. I say, how did I useless my life in that way? Why did I not make use of this opportunity that I was supposed to make use of? And I think it goes the same for each and every one of us. At times we look back and we say, there are things that we did that we are not supposed to be done, and now it is catching up with us. Just like the battery of the phone, at times we feel, now if I knew, I would have saved this battery instead of watching movies or playing games or using it in a way that is not even right. I would have saved this battery. I would have saved it so that I may be able to use it to make these important calls that I'm supposed to make now, to look for somebody who is going to pick me, or to call a taxi, or to put on the internet and try to Google and get my way out of where I am. But you just realize you can't do anything because your battery has run down. And I think this is the importance of endurance. It's so important that we be able to say, it is true, I am attracted to do this, but I am going to keep focused on what Jesus commissions me. Each and every one of us, by virtue of our Christians, we are commissioned to live a life in the world, but out of the world. In the world, but out of the world. A life that is so different from the standards that the world gives us. We must try to be able to endure, especially in the midst of the difficulties, the challenges, and the attractive nature of the world that pulls us to itself. Therefore, let us ask for this gift of endurance, the gift of perseverance, the gift to remain focused on Christ, who Himself calls us to Himself.